Welcome to Living in Grand Rapids, the podcast. I'm Josh May.
I am Katie Arnold.
And I'm Ross Bacon.
And we are three of the Baker Realtors with Remax of Grand Rapids coming to you with another edition of Living in Grand Rapids. We are excited to break down the local farmers market scene today. Spring is in the air, and there's nothing better than waking up, grabbing a cup of coffee, and walking down to your local farmers market. So I'm excited. We do it every Saturday morning. Let's talk about it. Katie, what do we got?
Well, I wanted to kick it off with one of the maybe most known farmers markets in Grand Rapids, the Fulton Street Farmers Market, because I didn't know this, but I learned it while doing a little bit of research for this episode. They've been going on for 100 years.
Here's the question, Katie. Has it always been in that location?
I can't answer that for you.
I think it has.
Great question.
Can you imagine what it looked like there 100 years ago?
Very different, I'm sure.
Very. I bet you people weren't getting their oat milk lattes 100 years ago.
It's a beautiful place. Well, I can check the history while we're talking, guys. But what I do like is the amount of, I don't want to say upgrades. They've really made this a destination, and it's beautiful. And there's parking for everybody, and they've got beautiful awnings. If the weather's down, I mean, it's a real logical flow there. So let's get into it.
I was just going to say, I think it's hard to talk about a lot of other farmers markets to compare them to the Fulton Street Farmers Market, because it does have so much going on. So people might have some smaller ones closer to their neighborhoods that they like to check out, which we highly support and encourage as well. But the Fulton Street Farmers Market has a mix of fruits and vegetables, meats, dairy, handcrafted items. There's
pies.
Pies.
Tasty, delicious pies.
Do you go for the pie?
I do like the pies. They're yummy.
But there's the point just being there's so much variety. So there's a ton of choices that, it's a great way to start your weekend.
Yeah, we're there every Saturday. We typically grab any meats that we need. We enjoy and support Crane Dance Farms there. Another farm would be Rakowski Farms. We get all of our eggs there also. It's a nice family tradition on a Saturday morning. The other thing I want to mention, which I think is pretty cool, being that this is 100 years old, some of these vendors have been going here for 75, 80. I'm looking at the longest tenured vendor dating back to 1931 is
Wow.
Tanis Orchards. So that's pretty cool, right?
Sure is.
Another known fact would be each season the market hosts 200 different local businesses. So we're not talking about 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 different businesses. Over the course of the year, there's an opportunity for 200 different businesses to come here, and we can support them. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and I love the fact that, so for anyone, they are open year round, but the main market season is from the first Saturday in May through the last Saturday in October. So that main market season is actually pretty long. And so then they're open Wednesday, Fridays, and Saturdays from 8 to 2. So you can go and shop around, pick up your groceries that you need for the week.
So one of the high selling points of people wanting to live in Midtown is the close proximity it is to the farmers market.
So Ross, you're going to talk about any other farmers markets today?
Josh, it's so great of you to ask. Yes, I am. Holland, Michigan. Just head west. About 35 minutes to 40-minute drive. It's very, very comparable to the Fulton Street Farmers Market. Bigger, in my opinion. A lot going on. I grew up going to Holland, been going there my entire life, visiting the family cottage, and big tradition is you wake up Saturday morning, like you said, Josh, and you go to the farmer's market, get the food you need for the rest of the weekend, and to spend some time walk around. They have local vendors with like the arts and the crafts, food. A couple things that make the Holland farmers market a little more unique. just growing up, I always remember the DNR always has a booth there. And the DNR brings in native, they have rescue animals that they bring in and they do a little presentation, thing like that. So the one thing I always remember, and I see them every year, is they bring in the barn owl that they have. And it's just really, really cool to see. The kids love it as well. And I know recently they added a local knife sharpener. I thought was very strange, but then I saw how many people were bringing like their kitchen knives, hunting knives, things like that. And then they sharpen them while you're shopping. I thought that was a really, really cool idea. They have taco stands, food trucks. It really is. It's a very, very cool farmers market, very comparable to Fulton Street Farmers Market, except you're a lot closer to the lakeshore with this one.
There's a huge community. I mean, obviously you get out to Hudsonville and Zeeland and, some of the west neighborhoods in Grand Rapids. And, they're probably going to go choose to enjoy the Holland Farmers Market. So,
or even just to change things up, have a little bit more of an outing.
Right. I got to check it out. I got to admit, I've never been there, but that seems like a good outing to do on a summer morning.
It's very close. It's right downtown too. So when you're done at the farmers market, you can just walk right up the main street, hit up all the shops, great restaurants, great food. A lot of, they do live music outside on the weekends. It's a really cool little town.
And they open up Wednesday, May 18th. So after tulip time, they're open Wednesdays and Saturdays from 8 to 2. So people can go check them out as well.
Yes.
So we've got you covered as far as farmers markets this summer. I mean, we got a couple great options. Katie mentioned there is plenty more in your communities, but yeah, get out there and support all your local businesses, all your farmers, people working hard. After you've done that, we will let you get back to living in Grand Rapids. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to Living in Grand Rapids, the podcast. Please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast and share with your friends. You can find us on Instagram at MayGroupGR or online at marketgrandrapids.com.